I'm sharing all this information that I found in my research online. And I'm not a medical professional, I'm not your doctor. Please, if you're having this issue, go see your doctor. I'm just telling you this in case you can relate, in case you need to know there's someone out there with these symptoms that you might have carpal tunnel syndrome, because I do. This is my story. Okay? I'm not your doctor. I'm not diagnosing you or telling you to do treatment of any sort. Anyways.
Hi, Alyssa here. Welcome to my channel. I'm coming to you today to talk about postpartum carpal tunnel syndrome because it's something I'm dealing with and I'm not happy about it. In case you didn't know, it's a thing. You can get carpal tunnel postpartum. All sorts of weird things happen to you when you're pregnant and after you're pregnant. I had heard about carpal tunnel in pregnancy before. I had a friend who wore a brace on her arm because of it during her pregnancy, and she was so ready to have that baby. So, well, of course she wanted to meet her baby, but also the carpal tunnel was driving her crazy. Oftentimes, and most of the time, once you have your baby, all of your crazy pregnancy symptoms go away. And it's really cool how that happens. And for me, most of my symptoms went away. But right at the end of my pregnancy, like in the last few weeks, my arms and my hands had been going numb. And it didn't matter which way I laid in bed, they would fall asleep. I don't know if that's what you call it, that's what I call it whenever like my limbs lose feeling and they feel all tingly. It would fall asleep and then I would have to move and shift and kind of, like move my body like this, which isn't easy when you have a big, huge belly. So I was just a mess and I was over it, and I thought it was due to some swelling and fully expected it to go away whenever I had my baby. I gave birth to my son, and the limbs falling asleep at night didn't really stop, and then my fingers went numb. Let's see, it was all of them except for my ring finger and my pinky finger were numb. I couldn't feel the tips of them. It was really weird. So I had the numbness in my fingers. Of course, I'm Googling things. I had an aching from the palm of my hand up my forearm. And it was just very uncomfortable. Anytime I was holding the baby, my arm would go numb and my arm and hand would ache. And it's too bad that whenever it goes numb that you don't just lose all feeling. It's like it's numb enough to not do anything with it, but then there's like an aching. It feels like it's in your bone. Just up the forearm. Up the forearm and into the palm of your hand. I told my OB about it at my 6-week postpartum appointment. And she said, yep, that's carpal tunnel syndrome. It's kind of rare, but it happens. It should go away in a couple of weeks. And if not, then I'm going to refer you to physical therapy. And so I'm online and Googling all these things I can do because I don't want to see a physical therapist. Nothing against physical therapists. I think you're great. I think you're awesome. I just don't want to pay for you. And I don't want to spend my time on it either. So to save time and money, I'm like, okay, I have to do something about this. What can I do? So of course I'm Googling everything, and basically what I saw was you can have a brace that's just going to help you keep your arm like this and keep your wrist from bending, because apparently it's that bent wrist that makes it worse, I suppose. Also a symptom of it, since everything's kind of numb and tingly, is your grasp. It hurts to grasp and it's difficult to grasp. It just doesn't work. Like to open a jar, I'm doing like this because I'm picturing myself trying to open a jar and I'm like, I am strong, I should be able to open this jar, and it just doesn't work. Like my hands just don't work like they're supposed to. I'll be holding a cup and it just kind of gives out and the cup goes to the floor. Extremely frustrating. So anyways, I'm Googling and I'm like, okay, so I don't want to wear a brace. I'm just gonna be really cautious of keeping my wrist like this and not bending it, and also keeping weight off of my forearms, being careful about the way that I hold my son, for how long I hold him on each arm. And it actually started to get better. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'm not gonna need physical therapy. Also, if you don't get it taken care of and it's prolonged, you can need surgery. Okay, so from what I read, it could last just a few weeks after having the baby if you have postpartum carpal tunnel syndrome, and it could last up to a year, and it's like breastfeeding carpal tunnel syndrome. And what my doctor was saying was like, be careful the way you hold your baby, like that could be, you know, contributing to it. And so I guess that because you're holding the baby like in a certain way while you're breastfeeding, I don't know if that makes it worse. I don't know why it's called that, if it's something to do with like the hormones or if it's something to do with like the physical acts that you're doing. If you know, please let me know in the comments, okay? I've done a little bit of research, but not like a whole lot because I just don't have a time for a whole lot. And I just needed to know, what do I do to make this better? I cannot afford physical therapy right now. So I just started to become really conscious about the position of my arm, how I held the baby, and it was getting so much better, and I have feeling back in my fingers, and just within a matter of a couple of weeks, the symptoms were almost gone, and I was just doing so well. Those few things, I guess they can help. Well, I don't know what's happened recently, but now I am 8 months postpartum, and I've had some symptoms here and there of carpal tunnel where I've been like, oh yeah, I need to be careful, or like if I've held my baby for, you know, long periods of time or on one arm for an extended period of time, I'll notice that aching feeling in my forearm. I guess recently I've been holding him more. I don't know if it's the nursing position. I don't know if it's just that he's gained so much weight. He's almost 20 pounds now and he's almost 8 months old. I suppose that since I was feeling so great, I just haven't been really conscious about the position of my arm and how long I'm holding him. But oh my goodness, the carpal tunnel is back and it is driving me crazy. Thankfully, it isn't so bad that I've lost the feeling in my fingers again. I still have the touch in my fingers, but my hand and my forearm are aching on both sides. Both arms and hands are aching. That grasp is not working very well. Yeah, it's driving me crazy, y'all. So I'm just making this video to say carpal tunnel syndrome, postpartum is a thing, also in pregnancy, also postpartum. Be conscious of the position of your arm if you are having symptoms, and I hope I don't have to have physical therapy or surgery. From now on, I'm going to be, once again, careful about the position of my arm and how I hold my baby, and hopefully I can get it feeling better again, because it is just not feeling good right now. It is aching and I have a lot going on, a lot happening. I don't have time for this. So I'll give y'all an update, I guess in a few months, or if there's any changes on it, and I'm really going to be careful about the position of my arm. I may even get a brace if I'm not doing a good job remembering to keep my wrist straight, because I mean, let's be real, I have 2 kids and they want to be held and picked up, and I carry things, you know. I just might not be very good at remembering to keep that good position in my wrist and my arm to prevent the carpal tunnel from getting worse. So I might end up wearing a brace. Blah. Don't really want to, especially not in the summertime, but I need to take care of this because I don't want to have to pay for physical therapy or surgery. But I'll keep you posted. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want that update in the future. And if you are dealing with these symptoms, let me know in the comments. And if you've dealt with it in the past, let me know what you did to heal yourself. Did you have to have physical therapy or surgery? If it went away on its own, when did it go away? If it was carpal tunnel postpartum. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.